Welcome to Spiritual Street Fighter, a fighting game podcast about how gaming affects your life and life affects your gaming. This is episode 3, Gaming with Gratitude. Join me for a little thought experiment. The year is 2023. You've just finished a late dinner and you have a spare hour before bed. You decide to spend that hour on fighting games. Maybe you boot up your PC or PS5 to play the hot new thing, Street Fighter 6. You can hop online and play against an endless sea of competitors, practicing any matchup you wish, with netcode so superb that some have called it voodoo magic. Or you could invite one of your broskies into a private lobby to play an intense but friendly set while you chat about the games on Discord. Another option is training mode. Like all good fighting games, this latest Street Fighter title provides countless scenarios to explore, techniques to master, and strategies to uncover. Alternatively, you could log on to Fightcade and play any number of fantastic older titles, like Marvel vs. Capcom 2 or King of Fighters 98 or Third Strike, with players around the world, for free. And if the heat of battle sounds too frantic right before sleep, maybe you check out a big money tournament stream and from the comfort of your bed revel in the glory and salt of the pros. Or you search YouTube to relive a classic Evo. All of this, too, is completely free of charge and available anytime. The year being 2023 is relevant because there was a time not long ago when absolutely none of this existed. In fact, these FGC luxuries would have sounded like science fiction. The birth of the modern fighting game, and I would argue the modern competitive video game, was 1991, when Street Fighter II took malls, bowling alleys, and soon thereafter living rooms by storm and changed the course of gaming history. The golden age of arcades that followed brought a unique and now mythical atmosphere of face-to-face combat. But in terms of the richness and accessibility of fighting game competition and culture, we've come light years since then. Think about all the excitement you felt when you finally mastered a tough combo in training mode. Reflect on all the chest-puffing pride that's followed beating particularly difficult opponents. And hold in mind all the friends you've made on your fighting game journey. Imagine if none of this existed. This might seem obvious or needlessly deep, but that's how the world was for the vast majority of human history, without fighting games. Medieval serfs weren't exactly booting up their Xboxes for a quick set after a hard day's work on the plow. Don't get me wrong, I love reading, I love music, I love exercise and all sorts of other things that have enhanced people's lives for much longer than fighting games. All of these blessings have become increasingly accessible to average people in daily life as humankind's goals have advanced beyond pure survival. But if you're listening to this, then you know how special fighting games are. You understand that the mental, physical, and spiritual challenges, the adrenaline, the hilarity, and that thing we call hype, bring us a powerful and never-ending adventure that's hard to replicate with anything else. We must recognize that we modern FGC members are so lucky to have come of age during the tiny window of history when all of this is available. Film was the art form of the 20th century. Video games are the art form of the 21st. Once derided as child's play at best and the psychologically damaging bane of culture at worst, video games today feature art, music, and mind-expanding gameplay that no one denies are worthy of respect. Video games are so popular, such the dominant art form of modern youth, that even I, as a gamer, but also a professional musician and amateur film snob, have lamented how the celebrated entertainment of the past has been pushed aside and left behind, at least for now. Fighting games, with their intricate and challenging 1-versus-1 gameplay and endless creative potential and replay value, are the pinnacle of video games. The degradation of music, film, and literature culture notwithstanding, if video games are the art form of the 21st century, and fighting games are the apex of video games, then that means fighting games are something pretty special. And we get to be a part of that. Not just at events, but even with the click of a mouse. Every day if we want to. Do you ever take a step back and think about how lucky you are to live in this era? And how lucky you are to have found fighting games? Sure, fighting games are a luxury compared to health, food, and a safe and comfortable place to live, but what a luxury they are. Take a moment to bask in all the joy fighting games have brought to your life, as well as to your friends, and to the whole worldwide community of players. Playing fighting games is a privilege. Countless scientists, philosophers, and artists worked for millennia to bring our culture to this point where this technology and this art form can exist. And we beneficiaries who happen to have lived after 1991 just by chance are deeply in their debt. Whenever my day is not going as smoothly as planned, I try to step back and soak in how blessed I am. Firstly, for the basic reasons, but also for the existence of beautiful music, the sports that I love to watch, and yes, that I found fighting games. When I play, if I'm clenched and tilted during a string of losses, I try to take a breath and think about how lucky I am to compete in a game that I love. Even if I'm losing, if I'm alive and healthy and playing a fighting game in my free time, then just for today, I'm lucky as hell. Whether frustrated or joyful, in quiet moments I try to think about what Tokido said after winning EVO 2017. When asked if there was anything he wanted to say to the world, Tokido paused. He dug deep into his heart to find the most sincere and impactful words he could. He came up with, "Fighting game is something so great." How right he was. Thank you for listening. I await your return, warrior.